Hey friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Heidi, and on today's episode, we are going to be doing 10 thrift flips that you will not believe their transformations. It's amazing what you can do with just a little bit of paint and some imagination to give something a brand new look where it looks high-end that only costs you a couple of bucks. All right, now let's get crafting with project number 1.
I was so excited when I found this beautiful frame with this artwork that goes so perfect with the colors I'm doing in my own home for the fall season. So first I started by just dusting off the frame to make sure everything was ready to be painted, and then I'm going to come in with some white paint and just simply do a couple of layers on it to make sure that it has a very nice coat. Now I'm going very cautiously and carefully around the fabric part of the frame. I loved that neutral tan color and I wanted to make sure I kept that intact. So I'm just taking my time with my angle brush going around it. Now I love projects like this because you can take old artwork and give it a brand new look by just painting the frame. Now I'm going to make sure that it's dry before I do my second coat to make sure it's really dried and really saturated with the white. And now I'm going to come in to give it that farmhouse look. I'm going to take my sandpaper and very lightly sand certain edges of the frame as if it looks like it had been worn for some time. After that, it's ready to be displayed. Look at the before and after by just painting the frame white. It really did transform this artwork.
In this video, you are going to see that I actually have a color theme that I am using to play with. I love doing neutrals, black and white and gray. But one of the things I noticed that started happening is that those started to trend so much that I think a lot of people are afraid to take on color and what colors that you're drawn to and what looks good together. So this video, I am focusing on these colors because I want you to know that you can always start off at a jumping point with a color that you're drawn to or you just find calming, peaceful, that makes you happy. So in this particular video, I'm focusing on beautiful green tones with orange tones and some neutrals with that creamy ivory and tan.
I came across this beautiful metal urn at my thrift store and I knew that I could give it a fresh new look. Now I happen to be using a really pretty green color in my home, and funny enough it has this green that I'm actually wanting to get the look of more on this particular item. I took it outside and I spray painted it 2 coats, making sure that there were no drips and it was a nice even coat all over it. Now I'm going to just simply put a piece of foam inside and it gives this beautiful metal decor piece a brand new look, and it is so pretty with these fall picks from the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to put a few of them in there and style it on my piano. I love the transformation and it just looks so high end. As I was walking around my thrift store, I came across this clock and I was so giddy. There was actually a woman shopping in front of me and I was praying and hoping that she did not pick it up. She thankfully passed it up and I grabbed it the second I could get my hands on it because I knew that I could update it and give it life in our home. So I'm just going to preserve the metal gold ring around it. I liked that. I didn't want to get any spray paint on that. I'm just going to cover that up with a few strips of painter's tape and making sure that the seal is not touching onto the wood. I'm also going to cover up the very inside of the bottom framing of this clock because I want to make sure I'm preserving the area where the batteries are inserted into it, as well as the back side, because later on I found out, I had no idea, this clock actually chimes as well. I took it outside and gave it 2 lovely coats of spray paint with this taupey gray color. I love how it turned out. Now, I could leave it like this, but you all know that I love a little farmhouse here on my channel, so I'm just gonna lightly sand the edges to really show all of the detail work on this clock. It's amazing how just spray painting it really brightened up this clock, and I love how it's styled on my shelves now.
I always wanted to be a mom, and I love my role that I get to play in my kids' lives. Now, I'm sure that you could probably agree that there's something that you say to your kids all the time. One of the things I say to my kids all the time is, you can do hard things. I started thinking about that, and that I wanted my kids more than just to hear me saying it, but to actually see it in our home. So this next DIY is inspired by a quote that I say to my kids all the time. I'm gonna share how I layered this look to be able to create your own sign without using a vinyl cutting machine where it costs just pennies to do it. And I put a little special touch at the bottom where it says, Mom.
They have all kinds of these metal trays at your thrift stores, at least they do at mine. And I picked this one up for 99 cents, and I took it outside and first gave it a coat of white spray paint. Once I had that on, now I'm gonna go and pull out all of my Dollar Tree stickers. You can see that I'm always picking from these, and funny enough, the H's are always the one that's missing on every single one. I apparently use the H a lot, which makes sense because my name is Heidi, so who knows, maybe it's because I'm just drawn to that letter. So what I'm gonna do, I'm using my ruler, and I'm just going to line up to make sure that my letters are nice and straight. And I do stick them to my hand first to take a little bit of that adhesive stickiness away from it, because you don't want it to peel up any of the first layer of that spray paint. And I will recommend make sure it's dried really well before you start sticking down any stickers, because that can also pick up the paint. But I love the idea of making a sign that is customized to something that you say to your kids all the time. Something that's uplifting and positive, something that lets them know that you love them, and hanging that sign up in your home. So just in case you're not around to tell them when they need that message, they can see it hanging up somewhere in your home. So for me, I tell my kids all the time, you can do hard things. I want them to know that they need to push themselves and to not give up, to believe in themselves, that God always has a plan and we can always try our hardest. I want my kids to always know that I believe in them, and I want them to believe in themselves. So at this point, I peeled away my stickers, and now I'm just coming in with some brown, and I'm going to create a couple of rust spots, because I'm actually going to be hanging this up eventually in my boys' room. I have a little mini makeover I'm doing for them soon. And now I'm just going to sand it and get it all roughed up, because I wanted to have that farmhouse industrial sign look to it. So I'm just taking my sandpaper and sanding on some spots here and there. And now I'm going to use my Crop-A-Dile, punch 2 holes up at the top. I love this tool. I'll link it down below, and any of the other tools you see here in this video, but it goes through metal like butter. It's great for hands that have arthritis. And now I'm going to take one of these garden chains that you can pick up at the Dollar Tree around springtime. I always pick up a bunch when I see them, and then I just hold on to them because I use them a lot on my crafts. I took apart the chain, and I'm only going to be using one of the strands, but I'm also going to take one of the extra hooks and add that to the bottom of the chain so it has a nice way to hang it up. And look at this transformation from this outdated sign to this really cool farmhouse industrial sign.
I I hope that you are feeling inspired so far. We still have 5 more projects to look at and to see how I transform them from a thrift store find to a high-end look for just a couple of dollars. Please do give this video a thumbs up. It really lets me know that you're enjoying the contents of this video. And if you haven't already and you're new to my channel, I hope that you will consider clicking that subscribe button and joining my friends here on this craft channel where I post weekly with lots of fun new ideas and things to try in your own craft rooms.
I saw this darling bucket and I wanted to turn it into a pumpkin. I thought the shape of it was just so cute and friendly. So what I did, I took the handle off, I popped off the nails that were in it, took it outside and spray painted it this great orange color. I'm going to link my spray paints down below so you can find them in your local home improvement stores. But I loved this color. I felt like it was the perfect orange. Now I'm going to glue on this little branch at the top and I'm going to decorate it with a couple of leaves. Nothing too crazy, but you really could just embellish this as much as you would like. I like more of a simplistic look on a lot of my DIYs, but I do want to have a little personality. So I'm going to put in a little sprig of boxwood, tuck that in there, and then a bow. You never could go wrong with a bow. I put bows on a lot of things just because I think that they're just so cute and they really just, I don't know, I think they're really pretty when you add on a bow, especially if it has a cute bow like this where it's got this beautiful stripe. Now I'm letting the tails be really long and I'm doing a dovetail snip at the bottom where I pinch it in half and cut up at a triangle. And the transformation is so simple and just such an impact on a table. I find so many of these decor pieces at my local thrift stores, and I decided to pick this one up because I felt like I could give it an updated look. Now I definitely did not pay that price for it. On this particular day for this whole video, I got all of my things 50% off. So just know that I always end up getting things on sale days. I love thrifting on days when there's sales for home decor. So I took it outside and I spray painted it first, a shiny gloss gray, a very light gray. And now I'm going to come in with my paintbrush and white paint and I'm going to go into all of the cracks and crevices of this particular item. Now you can see here that it looks like a mess. What is happening? What am I doing? But as I start to wipe away with a dry cloth, it really starts to settle in those cracks and it turns into a high-end looking cement decor piece. Now there are a lot of stores online that sell these for outrageous prices, $60 to $100. I know in particular Pottery Barn has a couple of things that look just like this for tables, for coffee tables in particular, where you put them layered and stacked on top of some books, and they charge so much for them, and I am basically doing this for $2.50. Well, I mean, if you consider it in the paint as well, maybe $3. But I had so much fun transforming this, and it really just had a concrete look when it was done. Looks so beautiful stacked with books. I definitely recommend picking these up and giving them a try.
Up next is this sign that I'm going to make out of a wood tray platter. This is going to cost almost nothing to make, and it really is such a statement piece to hang on your door or to put on any decor shelf in your home.
I almost passed up this tray, but I had Calvin with me on this day and he said, hey, what about this? This is round and this is orange. We were looking for particular items for this video, and I said, you know what? That would make the cutest pumpkin. So I picked it up thanks to his recommendation and his keen eye for catching, and I almost missed it. Definitely take a friend with you when you thrift shop, because sometimes you can find some cool things through the perspective of someone else. So I'm just going to take this cut down painter stick and I'm going to put some hot glue, wood glue, and then 2 staples on it so that I can make a handle on it. Now I thought that this would be cute, the 2 different tones of these woods, and now I'm sketching on with my pencil, Hello Fall. I thought that that would be a really cute thing to put on and turn this into a pumpkin sign. What a fun way to be able to give it a new look by leaving the wood, and the orange color is actually perfect for this video's theme and the color I'm doing in my home for the fall season. Orange is actually my favorite color because it just is so happy and bright, and I really do just love color so much. So now I'm taking my time and I'm just hand painting on where I sketched out those letters. And once that was done and dry, I'm going to go ahead and take a whole bunch of ribbon, all different kinds and colors, going with the theme that I'm doing for these colors. And I'm going to just tie some of them, glue on some of them, pinch some of them, so they have all different layers to it. And then in the very center, I'm going to just add a simple star button because I love adding buttons to ribbons. I know it's a problem that I have, but I love buttons so much. I actually collect them. And now I'm going to just add a couple more ribbons to the back to make sure it's nice and full and chunky, because the more ribbons the better. I really just love how it finishes that look and makes it just look more luxurious with all that ribbon on there. And then the last to hang it up, I'm just going to take one more ribbon and glue it towards the top so I can hang it up on a wreath hook, and that completes this look for just a couple of bucks. When I go to my thrift stores, I run into a lot of these wood box signs as well as these little wooden boxes. I find tons of them all the time, and I think, I wonder if people knew that you could transform this into something really cool by just adding a couple of supplies to it. Now here on YouTube, you see a lot of people making tiered trays, and sometimes when you use the Dollar Tree supplies, they can get a little bit pricey. And I just wanted to give you another option to show you that you can use these type of things, think out of the box, and turn them into the coolest tray ever. So I'm going to just remove all of the stuff that was all over them, the hooks to hang it up on the back of the white frame, the ribbon and the bells on the box. I'm going to patch those holes, and now I'm going to take this leftover stair spindle that I cut down from a previous project a couple days ago in another video. I will link that video at the end of this video and down below, but I'm going to just cut it down. I'm going to use 4 small balls and 1 larger ball, 1 long craft stick that's a little bit thick, not too thick, and 4 shish kebab sticks. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my drill, and right at the corners where they meet up on the sides of my boxed artwork, I'm going to drill 4 holes in those corners, and then I'm also going to drill a hole right in the center of that artwork. Now I'm going to take those shish kebab sticks and those 4 balls, and I'm going to put hot glue down inside of them, add a stick to them, and make sure that the glue is not popping out over, because we want to be able to lay this as flat as we can onto that art canvas. Then I'm going to cut them down, and the reason why we're doing this with these shish kebab sticks is it's going to allow the ball to really bond up into the actual artwork instead of just having it glued the ball to the bottom of the box or the artwork and then it's going to pop off over time. This is really going to allow it to have something to hold on to, and it'll be really sturdy and built well. Then I drilled a couple of holes to allow the wood not to crack, and now I'm just going to come in with my screw. You can tell right here I was trying to get it to stand just right so I could drill it in. So I was struggling there just a little bit, but I eventually got it to go. I added in some glue where I needed it and then drilled that together. Then up at the top, I'm drilling a bigger hole. And sometimes I don't have the exact size drill bit size that I need. So sometimes I just kind of slowly go around a little bit in a circular motion and it gets a bigger hole that I need. So that way I can be able to fit this dowel down in there. I'm sure some people are going to tell me that's probably not the best move, but it is what I do in my craft room. If I'm being real, I am a little rogue and a little wild when it comes to my crafting. I guess it's just because I use my drill a lot and I feel really comfortable with it. So please don't do anything you don't feel comfortable with. So you can see here that I cut down that wood stick down to size. I'm going to put that piece in there. Then I'm going to add on some more wood glue and hot glue for a long-term, short-term hold. Once I've got all of my glue on, I then can take my little wooden box that I also drilled a hole in, and I'm going to just simply slide that right on, and it's going to lock into place and have a really nice good hold on it. Now, because you can see that popping up, I'm now going to take the other part and bring that right on, and this makes it look like the wood is going all the way through, and it just gives a beautiful finish. Now up at the top, we need something to be pretty to finish the top of that bar that's holding it all together, or the pole. So I'm going to take that larger ball, and I pick up these wooden balls from Hobby Lobby, but you can basically get them from any craft store. And then I'm going to just glue that right down in there into place, and it really finishes the top nicely. Then to finish it off, I took it outside and spray painted it this beautiful green color, and boy, did it transform these items.
I saw this picture about 2 years ago on Pinterest where someone had taken a teapot and turned it into a pumpkin. I have had it on my crafter's bucket list for so long, and I was at the thrift store the other day when I came across the most perfect shaped pumpkin teapot. I could not wait to get this home and to transform it into a darling pumpkin for this fall season.
Now, I could not believe I found this teapot. I've been looking for something like this forever. And so I started by just simply taking off the tape, got off any sticky residue. This packaging tape actually did a number on it, so I had to use some Goo Gone to get it off. But once I took everything off and made sure the surface was clean, I took it outside and spray painted this beautiful orange color. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to just sketch on a cute little face that I think will be so happy and friendly for my home for this fall season. Now I'm going to come in with my paintbrush. I'm using an angled paintbrush, and I'm going to just take my time painting on this face because there's no rush. I really do love painting. It feels so therapeutic for me to use my hands and to take my time painting. So I'm just going around the corners, and I will say, because this angle is right on certain lines of the smile, that part was a little tricky. I kept going over my pencil line and I kept having to trim it up where I made little mistakes, but I had so much fun painting this on, and once it was all dry, I styled it in my kitchen for a darling look. Now this little basket doesn't seem like a lot, and again, I got this 50% off. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it is such a beautiful shaped basket, and I thought this would be the cutest basket to put at my entry into my home to catch keys or sunglasses. So I'm going to take some painter's tape, and I'm going to go up against the bottom of the basket on the inside of that basket, and then on the outside I'm going to create a border because I wanted to update it with this beautiful green color. So I just took a couple of coats of spray paint on it, made sure that certain parts were still allowed to see the original basket, and it really just transformed it. You could do whatever color you want, but I just wanted to show that a simple basket like this even has so much potential. So don't ever skip these. If you think you love the shape, paint it. You will be amazed how much it will transform the item. And the finished look made me so happy. And now it can catch my keys and my sunglasses when I walk in the door to keep my entryway organized in a beautiful way.
Thanks so much for watching this video. Leave a comment down below to let me know which one you like, which one you think you will try, and when was the last time you went to your local thrift stores, and if you found any fun goodies there that you've been searching for quite some time. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and consider clicking that subscribe button here for my channel. I'm gonna also recommend a couple videos over here on the side that are similar to this one, where I use color and have fun crafting and creating with that theme in mind. And until the next episode, bye friends.